random ass fucking thing. All right, let's
PC reset.
All right, let's go. We know the boss's moves.
Yeah, we do.
We now know the big one. Don't do a Sancho and just stand at his ass. Run away.
So what I think it is there's like a ring where it hits, and if you're like in that, it doesn't hit you.
So, question.
Slam, I was watching it. But
Do we want I or do you want Undertaker? Do we want triples or just on either one?
Nah, keep doing what we're doing. I think we got
Cool.
it. No sense in changing it up.
No, I'm good with that. I'm good with it. I&I's been putting in work.
Yeah.
I was doing damage there with my 3 lot holy stacks and range buff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a nice setup because I had the Holy Tree Spear, which went well with the Serpent Hunter to give me power stance.
Rapid, it's nice to enjoying the show. Yeah, if your mate gets involved, I fully appreciate it. But like I said, yeah, don't overcommit to it if it's not your just sing solo. I get that, but we are on PC as well. But has to be something you're buying to. Don't just buy things for the sake of it. We got this. Okay. All right. This is the one.
This is the
run, bro. We are going straight to the church, down to the castle, and then down to the jail, and then we're going to go into main castle after that because we're not going to do a castle on day 2. We're going to go straight to the fire thing.
Yeah.
All right, that's the plan.
Depending on what castles we could do it day 1, but
we're going to do that day 1 because we ain't got time day 2 because we're going to do straight fire. We want that legendary weapon. Yeah,
through volcano.
Yeah,
cool.
Just down.
Nice.
Basically.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Just jump down and don't die.
Way to get there, but
yes, use the.
Showed me the other day.
Yeah, it's just use the lift.
We've done it a few times.
Let's get the church flask. Make sure we got that. Did you get the flask as well, Excel?
No, where was that?
This way. I'll ping it for you now. There.
Oh.
Don't we got you? We got you.
I didn't even see that there. Good shout.
Well, yeah, because we're going to go that way, straight down to the castle, down to the Everjail, and then Bob's your uncle.
Got you.
Manage your arm.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Jumped the wrong way.
What a stupid saying. Bob's your uncle and manage your arm.
Fucking you guys.
Hey, don't fucking take the piss, dude. It's called English because we made it, right?
I really like the Souls combat. That's what I mean. This is a weird combination because you are getting a similarity of Souls in that, but it's also you're playing with an aspect whereas you can't just go for your favorite Souls build and be like, yeah, I got it. You have to make do what you get.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
You really can't always get Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength in every run. This is bullshit. There's golems on that castle, so be careful, Sancho.
Yeah, I'm inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and fly over there now.
Yeah, he's overcompensating. Smallest guy's getting the biggest weapons.
Got a key. Ooh, and a smithing stone.
Well, he had his Serpent Hunter in that one.
You can have the blue one if you're gonna keep your starting.
Blue one, what? Oh, the smithing stone.
Smithing stone? Yeah. I got one for you.
Sweet.
Since you
Alright.
keep your starting, right?
Yeah, that actually saves me having to spend the thingy. That actually means I get some more runes free. Thank you, Sancho. You got Stone Sword key already?
Yep, grabbed it.
Weak spot on him. Weak spot does so much. That's one of the best things about this guy. Just how much he lets the damage go through.
Here, drop the stone. That's there for you.
Sweet. Attack up when wielding 2 armaments there. Do you want that one?
What is it?
When you're wielding 2 armaments, so you dual wield, so more damage basically.
Okay. Do you want a horn bow, a magic bow? Oh, but no, you're keeping yours, right?
Yeah.
No. The passives are garbage.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pick it up now.
Yeah.
I was just trying to use my
Check for staffs, please.
I'm heading south to the jail, right?
Yep, that's the one. We got Sancho's got the key.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's fine.
There is a bluesmith stone here if you want Excel.
Oh, I did. I was gonna get it. But
There's one here.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
gonna take that. Fuck it.
I'll bring it down to you. I should be able to.
Yeah. Can swap it with something if not.
There you go. Got it.
I can come back. But...
That's all good. It's all good. Did you get some good Sancho?
Yes.
Sweet.
I got carrying slicer. Okay.
No, for me, the best part about this game. So stick to the left-hand side over this way, Excel.
What the fuck's the grace? Oh, there it is.
Sorry, yeah. When I say left, it's your right, technically. Just because there's always a boss over this part over there, so just stay out of that forest.
Yeah, sometimes it's something that fucks us.
Hurry up, Sancho.
It's a demi-human. It's a demi-human. You can rob her after if you want.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Just
Oh, I see her. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, we'll fight the demi-human after that. We'll take those little bosses.
Oh, we're in.
Oh, hello. Ult him.
Oh, what the hell? That's not good.
All right, Sancho, good for you.
Yep, thank you.
Just on noble. Keeping him distracted.
Got him. Alright, you fight Fatty. We'll distract this one and let's divide and conquer.
Yeah.
Yep, divide and conquer.
Thank you.
You good? You good?
Yeah.
Making me work, Sancho.
I know. Long distance here. Take
My
that.
game wasn't 40 FPS, I'd have a lot of an easier time.
Not a great Evergel for us to start with, because these are tanky than we need them to be.
Yeah, we're not really doing shit to them.
Why is the game 40 FPS? That's just this game.
Oh, yeah. Fucking double stab.
No, he's on PC.
It's just the game. It's Elden Ring on PC. It runs like dick, regardless. Even with like 4090s and shit, it's just they've made it shit. It used to run better on launch. Oh, I was too early. Fuck, I can't yap while I'm doing this.
All right, this one's down.
This one's down.
Oh, I got down to the end of the swipe. I was just around the outside of his arm, and it went further than I thought.
It's alright, I got you. You get it.
Yeah.
I got you.
I forgot how awkward it is to fight fair.
I got-
Oh man, I have to go right there. I can't go left. I go into the area he pokes. You'd think I'd know this fucking enemy, damn it.
Alright, bring him over here just because the fire's here.
I need to do a level 1+0 against this guy because I need more practice against him without sleep.
Weak spot. Go for him.
Fuck. Should be dead. Hopefully. Come on.
Okay.
Ooh, multi-stabs. Fucking hell, I hate the multi-stabs.
We got Locust. Watch out. Watch out.
I got a level absorbed. Nice.
Okay.
I'll take 30,000 runes. Why not?
Oh, another level absorbed. Oh, appeared in front of me.
Where's
No.
the
Okay, where is this bitch? We're going straight for
fucker?
it. Where is
Yeah.
it? Where is it?
Right.
That way.
There's demi-human right here as well.
Oh,
I'll go. You guys
I'll
take
have to
the
wait.
demi. I'll go hunt it.
Yeah, you hunt. I don't.
Oh no, it's right here. It's literally right here. We can take it real quick.
Alright, you peg it. I'll start this guy.
Yeah, no, he should. Fuck this guy. That should. Oh.
What that recovery.
Cool. Okay.
Got it? Alright, demi-human's half. Alright, got this.
Yeah. Got it.
Alright, let's get that. Do you want a Serpent Hunter XL? I have to give you if I see it.
I mean, I'll never say no.
Yeah, okay, there you
That's
go.
that red guy.
Yeah. That's...
There you go.
Oh, I'm not even recording my shit, so it doesn't matter.
I am, but yeah.
What do you mean you're not recording it? You're streaming.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I am. No, you're right.
Dumbass.
So don't touch them anyways. I forget. Well, I mean, I'm not recording it, but I am recording it. I guess.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not recording it. But somebody is.
Yeah, you're
Alright.
wrong.
Main castle, let's try and get over there, I guess.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
That was hella worth because I got 4 levels from that.
Oh yeah, we're good at that point. Let's
Hello? Where's your fucking thing, stupid? Tree? Maybe? Is it this tree?
actually, you know what? Stop the castle for now. Let's go these camps near us. And then we'll try a bit of castle into thingy later, into magma.
What's this? There we go. Yeah.
I think that's the best shout, because we need some items as well.
I open up this rise.
Oh, you fucking quick stabbing bitch.
I mean, we ain't losing.
Oh, these
No, we kind of are. Any decent things? Can I get some improvements? Improve attacking on two-handed. Yes, please. And there goes the thing. It's right near us, actually, so we can clear some of these. Weak spot.
What the fuck is this?
Help? Who needs help?
Yeah. Oop. One more somewhere, right?
Nah, not even. We chat waffles for.
Chat waffles in your cotton socks.
That's right. You tell him, Sancho. You know the lingo. You're cultured.
Good dude. No need holy. Okay.
Raise his physical attack. Yes, please.
Oops.
Raise melee attack power. Do you want this, one of you two?
Except can have it.
Just melee attack power increase, just over behind me. I'd move, but it's I'm just it's on this. I thought this was supposed to be a duo, Janet.
Fucking grace. There it is.
It is just, but this isn't the event. The event's not in yet until we've got all the folks in it. Yeah, so we need to know who's in it, who wants to do what, and then sort out teams. You know, this all stuff takes planning, right? You know, we don't just think, let's do it right now.
Sort of.
We try and throw some things in there and like have some structure, because it will be on a proper little tournament thing, brackets and all that if we can get enough people. No, I did not buy a Steam wallet because I ain't got a fat wallet. Did you buy him with your fat wallet? There is a misconception that you think I have the moolah.
If you would like us to have the moolah, you should
streamer
subscribe
ad
right
revenue.
now.
Yeah. Fucking. It's like 2 cents a viewer or some shit. It's so garbage. Fuck off, Perfume Man.
Seeing if I could hop up into this building and see what was going on in here.
Right.
But
Come in, Brent.
not enough time.
There we go. We'll try and we'll try and sort something. Gordos sells feet pics on the side. I found it. Alright, if you want to look at my big toe, you go for it. Hey, look who it is. Alright, going for a weak spot hit. Ult him.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I need to upgrade my weapon actually, that's a good point. Didn't get a chance to do that yet. Yeah, so let's go around the castle just
You're gonna legendary it, yeah, at the volcano.
Yeah, but I just mean to at least get some more damage whilst we're going down that way.
Oh, that's fair.
Weak spot.
You know we haven't seen today? Fucking Captain 6 Seconds.
He came in earlier for 6 seconds.
Did he?
He left.
Oh.
Yeah, case.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came in when he was having all the tech memes though, to be fair. Came in for 2 pumps in a square and he left. Yeah, unfortunately he will never live that comment down.
Yeah, you know?
No, you just can't, there's no way.
It doesn't deserve to. Fuck yeah, I love sending these little skull motherfuckers. Critical hits increase damage on the same enemy.
You know what? Deluge.
Successive attacks restore FP, we need that.
10. Okay, sweet. Day 1, 10. Alright, if we go there for church,
Yeah.
so we've got castle, church, castle, and then down. Sound good?
Just do the bottom, right? See who's there?
Yeah,
And then down.
yeah. Start the top, just because we'll get stuck there for too long, I think.
Yeah. Just to get a
Right.
talisman, and then they usually give us some good shit.
Where's the springboard? Where is it?
Yeah, I don't. Oh,
This
yeah.
way. Alright, let's go. Away with you.
Better make it.
I mean, we can always skip this castle actually as well, to be fair, depending which one it is.
I mean,
Yeah, take it actually.
take it.
Skip it? Yeah, let's go.
Take it?
Look, we called it. Let's go church. Maybe there's a small boss. If there's a small boss near the church, we'll take it.
Yeah.
We want to do volcano, yeah. We won't probably have time
Yeah.
to do castle.
Yeah.
Just go straight
Yeah,
to
there's a
volcano.
boss next to it. There's something easy. It's worth more taking that. All right.
Yeah, so we're literally going to go church, see what this boss is, basement, and then
Oh, it's a
Down.
bird fucker. We skipped that. Fuck that guy.
Like Death Right Bird or
BBK, BBL.
yeah, it's gonna take too much of a slog. He's not exactly difficult. It's just gonna be a slog for damage.
Yeah.
That's the problem with a lot of them. It's not like they're even bigger.
It's just not worth the time.
Yeah, it's what I said earlier that normally when you can take your time on Elden Ring or whatever, yeah, the fight's no problem. But when you're in a rush and it's the damage, DPS, and the value for time, and is it worth?
All right, give us some in the basement just to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give us another bell bearing or something.
It is. Scion.
Sweet, we'll take that. We fought some of those already, so why not? He seems to be a popular character. Right,
First ever boss.
rolling through, weak spot. Ult him.
Clicking.
Poking it in the butt.
I mean, that's good damage. That's good damage.
Blood, baby, blood. Let's go. And a clock
That's what we're talking about.
runs through.
Magna Blade. Anybody want a Magna Blade? Oh, armor inflicts blood loss. I kind of want that. Blood loss is good, right?
Yeah, it's good. I had to go with a frickin' I wanted.
Oh, holy. Yes, Wing Scythe. We'll take that.
Excel showing this here right now.
Yeah, but-
Yeah, of course, just of course he is. This is the part. This is all Excel right here. Just singing praise. Anyone actually likes fighting Sion? He's alright. He's just it's a bit handsy.
I didn't like fighting Bellbearing Hunter yesterday, but I threw myself at him for about 2 hours, and now he's one of my favourite bosses. The classic.
Alright, let's just see. Is it trolls?
Projectile damage drop off reduced 50%. Do you need it?
Yeah, can you drop that for me? I'm just going to get the line for some brick and drag him in, and then...
You guys always forget
Take
this other
that.
chest here too.
Oh, yeah, we can
What
do the
about?
line real quick.
There's always
You've got
more
what?
chests in that room than you got. You always get the talent,
no.
but you always forget all the loot chests.
No, they're all there. We just haven't walked that way yet. We're going out that way anyway, because all we're doing is getting in line and leaving this place.
Yeah. Did you pick up the talisman?
I will get it now. Sweet, thank you.
His reach is basically Iron Eye special. Like he's like the only one that can really make use of it all the time.
Yeah.
I'll level up first.
Volcano.
Volcano. Because we can hit this. That's the church first, and then we keep going down. Right? Is the path?
We get the church later.
You sure?
Yeah, because it's right near the things. No, I always grab on the way back.
Get it on the way
Because
out.
we
Take the bird out.
emphasize getting the thing, and then we just kind of hop down.
I went up a different jump, but I'm just to the side of you guys. I'm in danger.
Oh.
I'm in huge danger.
Why?
Just do that.
Valiant Gargoyle, the lava. You landed to the right. I landed right in the bowl of that area. Level and catch up.
Alright, well, we're just grabbing this now. No, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Do you want us to mute you?
No. It's just the responses didn't know if you could actually hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
All I was, it was panic, so I was just like, okay, he's panicking. What was going on?
Yeah, like you guys were over to the side, I was over to the left, and that jumps into the bowl right in the heart of the Valiant Gargoyle, and you can't, when you get the lava, you're fat rolling, so I couldn't get through. I needed to come down on the right where you lot landed. That's just map knowledge skill issue. I would be like level 15 in this if I didn't lose like 4 levels in this run. And I had money on me as well. Fuck.
Do you want to kill the fatty down here, Sancho? They drop something down here. It's just down here.
Yeah.
And then Excel can grab on his way through as well. And then gives us a little bit. Just...
Trying to remember the way down.
Oh, that's so good.
damage.
Fucking love that shit. Yep.
Proves that when two-handed, sure.
Okay.
I'm definitely two-handed. You good, Excel? You
Yeah,
found it?
way.
Cool.
Yep.
There's a thing to pick up along the way for yourself, so you got a boon. The boon.
I need to kill some shit and get some money. Oh, I just mashed it. Didn't even want that, but okay. Fuck.
You with me? Oh, yeah.
I'm here. I'm right here. I'm ulted.
Man, that one death put me far behind.
You still get runes.
Oh,
if
that's
we-
right. Yeah, we all collectively share.
Yeah.
No, I
so-
know, but I also didn't pick up my fucking dead
Oh.
rune. So there's like 60k out there somewhere. Like, and I'm level 9 when I could have been about 14 by here.
Nah, I'm only about to hit 12.
I've just got to past 12.
I lost 2 or 3 levels to the fucking locusts because they instant spawned on me, which has never happened. It was like 2 of them just immediately appeared where I was going to be, so I lost 2 or 3 levels before I even killed it. I don't know if you get them back, you just get the buff, right? You don't get your reimbursement.
I'm not too sure. To be fair, up until these ones, I haven't really dealt with the locusts because I never really seen it with anyone.
I had it in a solo with Iron Eye, and it worked out for me. It was the one time I got to level 15 with him.
I think if you kill it, you get it back. I'm
I
pretty
go the
sure.
wrong way here.
No, you're good. You go turn right here. Yeah, you're good.
I normally
And then
would've
left.
normally jumped in by now. I think.
Yeah, you can jump. You can do the whole if you want to.
Yeah, no,
Thing here.
this is right. I forgot.
This
about
is just
that
the.
part. Really got a good build for Magma Worm, but just have to make it work.
That's all right. Magma worm's not really
Problem.
thing. I dashed too early.
Ulting.
Nice. I'll have my ult in a second. Got a weak spot. And then we're going to ult.
Damn, he got all the way around there, huh?
Ulting.
Nice.
Riposts never used to be worth it on Magma Worms, but they are in Nightreign because we all get to damage, so it's actually worth it here. But in Elden Ring, it's not worth reposting them. I'm just poking it in the butt.
Weak spot. There was no need for that.
Been there when I pressed L2, you bastard. The one time I pressed L2 in the entire match.
Oh, he's coming for me.
It's alright. He's done.
There we go.
Fire and spur rapier, that's broken.
Sod it. I'm going to take.
Ooh,
What'd you get?
beautiful. Halo Scythe.
Oh, nice.
Hey, beautiful, amazing.
Alright, cool. Let's get the hell out of here. Kill the demi-human up top. And then whatever else we can. Chat, do you believe? Do you believe in life after love?
Has the volcano even erupted yet? It hasn't, right?
It doesn't erupt, does it?
When it erupts is when you're like, you should be on the way out. I had it happen yesterday in a game, in a solo, while I was not in here and the whole game was shaking. I was like, what the hell is that? And then I saw all the eruption happening. It was really cool.
Okay.
Someone taught me that it's if the volcano erupts and you haven't beaten Magma Worm, just get out because you might not have enough time now, sort of thing, because it's usually about to finish at that point.
Look at the chunks that shit does. Look at that.
I'm here for.
It was one of my babies in my first playthrough. I love that weapon. I farmed for it for ages.
Fuck yeah.
Sweet. There's the dog up top. Let's go up top.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, the surge sprint keeps running me past things.
Hopefully we can get it before.
Get the Flask Church as well if we can, maybe.
Yep.
I'm moving, you bitch.
This one's kind of going to be all you, Sancho. Get him with the Destructo discs.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you staggered him. Very rare stagger on the dog.
Destructo disc. Fuck yeah. Krillin doesn't get enough credit, man.
That one was for all the Android 18 fans in the chat.
Hell
By
yeah.
that, I mean mostly me.
No, she's great, dude. I love her. I have a statue of her.
All right, go and get yourself the flask, Excel, and we'll head down there because we already got ours.
I mean, oh, you already got those, did you? Okay.
Yeah, you'll get yours. Just make sure you got another flask in that handy.
I'm gonna see. This might not be worth because it's quite low down.
If it's a risk, fuck it. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 5. That'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, at 15.
We're good here. I'm at 14. After this, I'll probably hit 15. Fuck yeah. And with the Halo Scythe, man, we're cooking.
Oh,
We're
maybe
cooking.
I could have done actually, because I have to drop down here.
Good job you recorded this run. Not recorded this run, partially recorded this run. Exact.
It's on Twitch. I'll download it.
I can download it in source quality if you want.
Sure.
Oh, it's not
Well,
there
you
too,
sent
I
me
hit
the
my
program
fault.
that you used for that, I think.
Yeah. It's the one I posted on Discord the other day when
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
asked. Rapid asked, it's that one. That's the same one. Just use
cool.
that and the generic settings should have you covered.
Yeah.
I definitely helped on that enemy. Did all of the damage there.
Absolutely. I'm just
Yeah.
I'm just killing whatever I can right now. Give you as much souls back. All right, let's head in the middle then, I guess. All right, yeah, let's get out of there. No pressure, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the damage difference. Weak spot.
He stopped. I didn't know they could do that. So you know they do their purple grab Nightreign thing that you have to dodge and you get like a special dodge for it. He
Yeah.
cancelled it and just stopped doing it. I didn't know they were able to do that.
They can do whatever they want. It's Nightreign. They make the rules.
Apparently. I'm in bands. I'm in bands.
Guess I should save these for the boss.
Yeah, so don't forget to get yourself some Starlight Shards, though.
I have a fuck ton of magic, too. So I'm not too worried about it.
Alright, well, we got Tree Sentinels, DTS, some... Hey, it's
Good.
ulting.
Ulting him too.
Destructo Disc.
Staggered. Reposting.
Weak spot.
Sacred phalanxing.
Clicking the clock.
Roll like 1 second after the red, but before the fire. It's like once you know the timing, it's actually not bad. Like let all the red lines appear, and then when they fully appeared, then roll.
I just double dodged the fuck out of there.
Oh, you can with her, yeah.
Oh, I'm out of discs.
Yeah, I'd say make sure you buy some Starlight Shards in next fight. Because if they seem like it's going to put in work.
Yeah. I think I also have
Wow, again.
restore FP on successive attacks.
That was a really good fell omen, by the way. We fucking cleaned his off there.
That was a fell omen. Where?
Disc.
Past the ult. Yeah, sure. I'll go with that.
Oh, ailments. That wasn't a good one. Yeah, I should have taken the other one, but didn't get anything cool like lightning dodge or anything, unfortunately. So it's very
Level 15.
vanilla.
Right. Oh, I don't need to level up. So anything I get.
Yeah, level 12. Lame. I lost 3 levels, so yeah, that makes sense.
Math checks out.
Alright, well, I'll buy Starlights, because I can just buy fucking everything. Do I have any weapons that can be upgraded? That spear. That's fine. Buy another one of them. Sancho, I'm going to drop some Starlights next to me.
Thank you.
Alright, what we got? So we got improved critical hits. 18%.
There's a
That's
prawn
right, yeah.
there. Someone can carry it.
You know what?
You're still
No, I will.
grabbing that physical. Negation's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm full of shards, so.
Let's go.
Okay. Let's go, boys.
3 warming stones, 6 flasks, and a dream. We have no
I
red,
had
so,
a dream. Ah, it's fine.
I like the Wind and Graces, main.
They're mainly in solos. It's not as often you see multiplayers. On the odd occasion.
Get one, but yeah, not really.
Once in solos, you get loads of freebies because you get a free revive, and if you buy a Wending Grace, you get 2 revives. So I always buy Wending Graces, and I'm like covered for solo survivability a bit more. All right, this chap again.
Let's go. I mean, the damage looks different already. And show. Told you about that every time. I didn't tell you what happens.
No, I know.
As I say, don't take too many hits here. We got enough to take later.
Yeah.
Square.
That should be it.
You know.
I think I'm more nervous now that we're super overpowered than I was when we were weak, bro.
Nerves? What are nerves?
Hey,
Ult him. There's my patience.
Oh, he's just gonna do it again.
No, he's not.
Stab. Okay.
I made him angry. I interrupted his moves. Just be careful when casting, Sancho, because he likes to lunge. Weak spot on him.
Knocked him out of whatever shit he was doing. I think he was going to do a nuke there. And I debuffed him. That was good timing.
Nice. Oh, watch out, Sanch. He's coming. Dodgeball, remember? Good lad.
Got it.
You can side dodge it. Oh, shit.
Okay.
Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me.
Ooh.
Okay. Right. Let's make the most of this.
That goes out in lines. You're all good.
Kind of, a little bit. It's just the fight's catching me more than anything.
I think that hit him. No, it didn't. Fuck.
Fuck, he got me there. Okay, that's fine. How'd you got invis?
I think I can hit you with that. No. Invisible.
Watch out, Excel. Don't rush me. There you go.
Good, he's not looking at you. Now he's back at you.
It's fine. Oh wow, even when he dashes, it like hits me, even though he's
Oh my fuck me. I was over the hill, far away.
Yeah.
It's coming for you. I said just patience is all we need.
Run out.
Alright, I get to live that because of only just getting here.
Oh, I just don't know when to attack, dude, because I don't know his animations. I get slapped so needlessly because I don't know when it's free to play.
Alright, he's doing his little sperm cells.
Two. Three.
Ult him.
Don't
Take him.
Block him. Yep.
He's debuffed.
Leg it.
Leg it.
Leg it.
Go UXL.
Don't know when to roll, dude.
All good. It's all good.
It's fine. I still got one heal. Popping a warming stone and my last crab. Oh no, I've got another crab. I shouldn't have flasked. Oh well.
It's alright, we're good, we're good.
Coming at me.
Just everybody go ham for the
There
third.
it is, baby.
I've got the epic Skyrim
time for third
music on.
phase.
You have to see my recording back.
Third
dude.
phase, yeah. Third phase. All right.
The Skyrim music is going hard on my side, and it goes perfectly. You have to see my recording back.
Beautiful.
I've not got that. I've got fucking Zone of Enders double bass.
Left still. Didn't go down. Love
I
it.
had no flasks, but no downs on the.
Oh, look at this. We get to go for a stroll.
I've never seen this.
Let's go for a stroll. It's that face. Yeah, absolutely.
Are you?
Walking into a castle.
Yeah.
Nah, they're
They're all different.
Purple Melania, surely, right?
Nah, Melina's a hoe. Nobody puts that hoe in this game.
Her weapons in the game, you can do waterfowl.
Yeah, that's the only part of her is worthwhile.
Where do we go in here, by the way?
I'm going to talk to a dude here. Offer the Night Lord's Rune. Truly make this offering? I don't know. Do I want to truly make this offering, folks? Let me know. I don't know. I don't know. Do I know?
I did it.
I'm doing it too. What if I say no and I want to keep it and say nah, fuck you?
Another Night Lord.
Yeah, shove your rune up your ass, mate. You know. Also, that was a semi quick one. I've been recording for 42 minutes.
It will suffice.
Quick, but that's quick for like considering the boss and whatnot. I feel like that was a good. Smooth.
It was a good run. I think it was a good run.
Even though I lost some levels and friggin' went down in the lava place, but other than that, we kept it going. The double spear strat, I quite like the double spears where I can just double poke in their back. It does so much good DPS.
Nice.
I just kept running behind everyone and just going poke.
I just kept throwing discs.
Yeah, dude. I like the Krillin build for you. I think that's the new build, dude.
Yeah.
Shit was hype. If you can get Rings of Light or anything like that, or Radagon's Rings of Light, they're all similar.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Still in this cutscene here. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Our essence is flying away.
My Skyrim music has gone on to some lute, like acoustic guitar, which kind of again is fitting. I didn't calculate any of it, but it's like it's the perfect cinema. Just seeing the gold lights of grace go through here, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the prequel to Elden Ring? Does it set up the Elden Ring? Is it going to spawn Gideon in?
Nah, it's just set up for a real game, not that Elden Ring. It's an Elden Ring Nightreign 2.
Probably a Nightreign 2 before Elden Ring 2.
True that.
Dark Souls 4.
Elden Ring multiplayer.
Bloodborne 2.
Elden Ring multiplayer, so they're coming out next. Seamless co-op.
Mm-hmm. Was that it? It just this guy?
Yeah, it's just
Okay, why did I watch that?
I don't know.
Lord.
Oh, look at that! Look at this. We're part of it. Elden Ring.
Directed by Junya Ishizaki. Hell yeah!
We have to now go and watch a 3-hour Vati video about why that's what
that means.
Ramifications are. Yeah.
There's water.
I mean, we've officially beat the base game technically now. Obviously, all the bosses.
Yeah, now we just got to beat the DLC one.
Yeah, it's got the balancer because that gives you pair the balance. Well, and me as well, balancer aspect.
Yeah.
I've only beaten like 4 of them or so.
Yeah, we can change that. That's fine. We got the harder one out of the way, so that's fine. To be fair, actually, I don't even think he's that bad now after fighting him a few times.
No.
After reading his moves and that, he's quite readable. He does a few slashy stuff, but yeah.
The reason they get you so much in this is because you can't run back at them straight away like you would in normal Elden Ring. You'd normally absorb the boss moveset a lot quicker in like 2-3 hours of running against the boss because you're just going fog wall boss. But here you have to do the whole setup every time. It's much like my buddy no hit runs where it's like right back to the new game. So similarly, it takes a lot longer to absorb the boss. That's why I'm trying to practice them. So I can practice him solo, and then it'll be. It's like you can just run on that mod. You can go to the expedition table and just load straight in on the Night Lord.
There's an end.
New outfits.
I'm still watching the cutscenes.
Yeah, I'm still watching the Groot.
Did one of anyone look at the times at the end?
No.
You can check the results. You can check results in the round table.
After the cutscene and the credits, it shows you, so you can.
I mean, do we actually want to submit this as a run, or because let's quit out to the menu as well?
You can do.
Yeah,
I'll do all the relevance. I showed relics at the start as well. I just started to do that in every game I play now.
Where am I checking results?
Hell yeah! Look at this outfit, baby.
Even if you don't see it come up, Gordo, there's somewhere in the codex or whatever, somewhere in the round table, you can check expedition
result history. There you go, got it.
Yeah, and you can even then check. You can favourite some of them as well and have the run back on the map and show the map screen that you the result screen.
38:41.
These, that's. I mean,
it's okay.
40,
all of them are like 30 minutes.
Some of my solo ones are like longer. They're like 45, but solo, it takes longer to kill everything. So
cool.
We just go back to the menu, get the version thing in there, and then that's that. And I want to check out the skins.
They're pretty cheap skins too. They did us a favor. They just said take them, baby.
Oh,
Sweet.
You mean all the skins that I've already got unlocked that I just need 35,000 merc to buy?
No,
there's more. There's more.
Everyone gets like 3 more.
Bet the DLC ones didn't, did they?
Oh, cool! I got Deeper Night now.
No, the DLC ones. You have to beat the balancers to get the DLC ones.
Cool.
What do I have to show, Gordo?
Just the version. So go back to title screen and just the version on the bottom right.
Version and calibration.
You can be Victorious.
It can be a pirate or it can be a sellsword. Okay, I like the new skins.
You can be Solaire. I might learn Guardian just so I can be fucking Solaire, bro.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Oscar. Why does he get the best skin?
Oh no! Look, like Wilder gets his OG skin. The official DS one.
Yeah.
Is